All right. We are live. Welcome, everybody. This is an extremely important stream for a lot of reasons. First and foremost, Peter the Mailroom guy is here. Hello.
Hey,
Pete.
what's up? I'm Pete the mailroom guy.
I relate to you so much now because that's all I was doing for the past, how long was it? 3 hours? Was mailing things.
See, this
Oh,
is my
yeah.
proof I'm the mailroom guy. I got the packing tape.
Yeah. One little note on the packing tape. I always think, man, I used to think I should buy one of those big handled ones. You know what I mean? They work good on big boxes, the tape dispensers,
Oh, yeah.
but for like small mailers, they're not helpful. The one that you have right there, just the small one, it's
Yeah,
so much better.
and this is like a Dollar Tree thing. You
Yeah.
just get the thing at the Dollar Tree. It comes with a little crappy roll of tape, but I'm
Yeah.
not buying it for that. I'm buying it for this butte because this thing, like separate, it's like $5 just to get the stupid thing on Amazon
Yeah.
or whatever. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna go to the Dollar Tree, pick it up, and then if they break, one breaks every like 2 years. So like they last a while,
Yeah.
but yeah, for the the big tape gun. It's oh my lord, it's a nightmare. It's just
Yeah.
that's way better.
Yeah. Those are fantastic. And even then, like with bigger boxes, I don't think I would get one of them because like now I've got a system down with that little guy, so it just works too well.
Yeah,
Um, so that's the first reason this stream is important. Second reason we'll get to, but I'm gonna say hello to the chat first. Paul Riley's here. He says, "Hey Clint, Pete,
hey,
busy in here, Dawn man. Yeah, busy here, busy there. Everyone's busy." Sketchosaurus Rex says, "Hey Pete, hello Clint."
it's a tough one. 4 letters, hits you real hard sometime.
Got Writers Fix Problems says, "Hail." We have what about says ahoy one and all. Ahoy. We have Volp's Comics, Hell Comics Gate. We have Tape Gun is no bueno. I agree.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe with large boxes if that's all
Yeah,
you're doing.
if
But
you're moving out of your house and it's just like okay,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
when it's just a small type of package, 12 inches, 14 inches usually. I don't know how what
Yeah.
small is to you, Clint. That's kind of small to me. Maybe 20, 25 is big to me. But we're still talking about boxes. But then you can get the larger tape gun, but the little guy is just fine.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I don't know. It's overkill. It doesn't help. If it's too big to fit in the box, it shouldn't, it's not gonna work. That's my rule of thumb. So, second reason we'll say hello as people continue to filter in. Say hello to we got 12 people watching. I've only said hello to like 4. So, if or maybe 5. There we go. Only what? There we go. Story time. Hello. Only 25. Let's see. There's 12, 13. There might be a lag, but welcome everybody to the stream. But this is the real reason for the season. I'm going to share my screen like a share audio just in case. Who knows? I'll probably not have to. But this is it. Alterna Comics Fall 2021 pre-order campaign, and it has 2 days left. Do you remember what time? Well, no, it ends at like a weird time. For you, it might be like midnight, right? 2
2
a.m.
days. Yeah. It ends they are. It's so weird. It's either midnight
Yeah.
my time or it's like 3 a.m. and it's midnight East Pacific time.
Yeah, it's at a weird time. So you don't want to miss it. You got to get there before the cutoff because it matters. Why does it matter? Because my whole career in comics is riding on this.
That's right.
The Sweetcast surge is what we're calling it, has to shine forth in our moment of need. There's less than $100 in order to get 20K. That's such a big landmark, so important. If we do that on the stream tonight, then I won't lose my job. I won't be fired. So
yeah,
there
if
you
we
go.
can't raise, what is that, $89? If we can't raise $89 on Clint's show, he's gone.
What's the point of having me around?
I mean, I won't fire him. I'm the mailroom guy. I'll tell the boss.
Yeah.
But
There will be letters going up the line, heads will roll. So that's what we're talking about tonight. I'm going to post a link in the chat. It's also in the description below. Here we got Sketchosaurus Rex. Perfect. Posting links as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so check this out. If this hits 20K on this stream, I mean, all is well with the world. That'll be fantastic. Such a good goal. And
everything.
We talked about this a little bit early on, but I think it's worth talking on the air about it too. But this is a new thing. It's a notable thing that a publisher is putting out basically what would be previews. You know, these are the fall comic books, but on Indiegogo, on crowdfunding first, is sort of a pre-order system. First off, I mean, it's clear that it's gone well, but how has this been different for you? Or what are some of the considerations or notable things about this?
It's way less stressful right off the bat, and it was just crazy to say because crowdfunding is stressful, but this is way less stressful than the traditional system of put it through to previews, put it through to Diamond, and it's more of a celebration than a month of anxiety and self deprecation and like begging people like I don't ever feel like I'm informing the readers out there of what it is, and sometimes I'll try to rally and be like, hey, we're so close, but it never feels like, oh man, just please just get one issue, it's just $2, please. That's what it was like with retailers, and I'm like, just get one of each, just $2 a piece. Why is this so difficult? Why is this difficult to sell you guys? It's $2 an issue, like every single month, no matter what happened.
But so that's the weird part is that everyone, the common knowledge process. It's like you have to go through distribution. What you don't see though is that doesn't sell comic books at all. You still have to sell comic books if you're in Diamond, but now you're trying to sell them to a comic book shop and then hope that they sell them to readers, or sell them to readers, have them go to the comic book shop. And I know in my case, my first Alterna, trying to order Alterna from my local comic book shop experience was me going there and saying, hey, do you guys carry Alterna? Them saying, no, that's very indie. That's the terminology they used. I'm like, well, yeah, that's what I want. And
they don't even go like, no, but we can. What would you like to order?
Yeah,
it's not even that. It's literally just like, no.
Right.
Who wants that crap?
Yeah, so they're like, guys, like, I got to talk to my manager, and I'm like, so they ended up doing a special order for it. I think it was my first one through a comic shop was Red Koi #1, I believe. Ooh. And so yeah, good pick, great cover. I still remember that cover is just popping. But yeah, it's such an awkward experience versus, hey, I'll just sell, because you're gonna have to sell to readers anyway to get them into shops. But this is just, hey, here it is, new comic books, you get them shipped right to your door, period. The end.
Yeah, and it's already great because we sell so much direct from the website, so this is kind of an extension of that, but it makes it a little easier because on the site everything is in stock, ready to go, and then on the Indiegogo campaigns, it's pre-orders. So it's all this, just, it's already the mindset anyway of Indiegogo or crowdfunding in general, where you have to wait a bit for whatever it is that you backed. But in this case, everything that we solicit on here for you guys, as opposed to soliciting the retailer, is all done. It's all ready to go to print. So as soon as this campaign ends, everything gets put together. We send it out to print. We get it to the printer, I think the first week of November. And then that's it. And then hopefully everything goes okay. We get the books. Usually it takes about 3 weeks to a month turnaround time to get everything back in. So hopefully early December, we have all the books. I mean, I have to take into consideration, of course, Thanksgiving and all the other people just start taking off for the winter at that point in time. So it usually takes a little longer, but it should be still about a month. And then everything starts getting fulfilled. And the thing with this campaign too is a lot of the perks that people ordered that weren't the book. So let's say if they ordered the trading card binder or the beanie or whatever it was, that's going to ship out pretty much immediately. The beanies and a lot of stuff, the trading card binders as well, getting here in like a week. So all that stuff is going to be going out 2 weeks or so. And then all you're going to have is just people waiting on books. Will be in demand, but the collector cases and every single perk associated with is getting taken down. So I don't want to oversell collector cases or have damages, because we had damages last time on the Because You Demanded It campaign. We had about 50. There's like a box of 5 that just like the corners were all just like smushed in.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to send that out, obviously, to anyone that backed. So I was waiting on replacements, and it took forever because of the supply chain issues that they had. So I don't want to wait on things like that. I don't want to oversell what we have. We do have quite a bit, and we've sold almost 200. We've got 250. So I don't think we're going to sell more than that by the time this ends in 2 days. But 5 perks are going to be taken down at that point in time. And then today, we added the ability to get ad space in a bunch of the books.
So I gotta
yeah.
point this out real quick. So this is Scott, because he's pimping door kickers, but he says, "Okay, I'm done shilling. Got to go back to work." You're not done shilling. That's the point of this, because there's full page ads now in Alterna books, and if you're trying to get word out on your comic book, your Indiegogo campaign, what better place, And you think about even down the road, these are going to be, who knows, they could be in Halloween baskets somewhere. They could be baskets, bags.
It's an evergreen ad. The way I love looking at ads in the comics from 70s, 80s, and so on. And I'm still seeing them and being like, wow, look at that. I didn't know that item came out or whatever. Or sometimes there's a Nintendo game in there, and I'm like, shit, I never played that. So you can see these ads in there for forever. They're in print. So a full page ad, $25. An inside back cover ad, $50. So if you don't mind it on the newsprint, if you're like, I want that nostalgia, or you don't mind the quality necessarily, like the glossy cover stock isn't a necessity for your ad.
Yeah.
But if you want the glossier stock, you can get the inside front or the inside back. The inside front cover is $75. The inside back is $50, and then the back cover is $100. So these are unbelievably affordable prices, and we've already sold a whole bunch of a lot of them. The way I'm doing it, actually, you could click on one of them, I guess, as long as it doesn't take you into your own personal info. One. Yeah, so the back cover ad, it has on there 5, but that's a lie, because we had 9 before, 4 sold. So the way that I was doing it is that when these things come in, you get your choice. You get your pick of first, second, or third choice of what it is we have available. So because there's limited availability and I can't quite get to everything in time, there might be something that happens where someone wants the same cover as someone else, the same spot as someone else, and it's the same exact time and everything else. So they might lose out on it. But if they got their second choice, their third choice in there, we can get them at least something. So you'll go into it, you'll click like get this perk, and then you'll see these drop downs where you can pick
Let me see
which books it is you want. So your first choice,
So here you can pick Downcast 3, Downcast 3.
So if that's 3. Like, it has to be that.
It's just,
chances are you're gonna get that. But I've been very quick about it today. I've been jumping on it, making sure people are getting their first pick. So far, we haven't had any clashes yet. I've been pretty good about it. We've had a bunch ordered across the board for everything. The full page ads, there's way more available in that, so it's not really a big deal to just leave that up there and let it fly. But the back cover ads and the other ones that are very there's only one back cover and so on. I want to make sure everybody gets that. But
that's awesome, because it's actually targeting to, like, you get target audience. Let's say you have a YouTube channel and you're making reviews or talking about comics that appeal to kids. You get a nice, like, family-friendly YouTube channel. You could take out an ad in here for your YouTube channel on comics that's kid appropriate. You could go for, I don't know what else is in here, but Blood Realm, I don't know, and Wolf and Bats.
That one got taken, actually. Blood Realm Volume 3.
Okay, of course it did. But any of it came out on Wednesday. That has really wide distribution, across. So you can kind of target what you're looking for, what kind of audience you're looking for, to I guess that small degree. But I know there are a ton of people out there doing comics, wanting to promote their comics, looking for ad space. People have asked me about ad space on, like, my own YouTube channel and stuff. I'm like, I don't even know how to do that. But here you get ad space. It lives forever, and it's targeting the comics market. So that's pretty fantastic. And a lot of people that get these are not the same people that are watching these live streams either. I mean, you're going to have some crossover, but you are really getting into another sort of realm of people that could see your stuff.
Yeah, and if there's an immediacy to your ad, so someone had asked when we need everything by November 1st. So if you can't get
Oh yeah.
everything to us by November 1st, don't take this, because we definitely need to get these to print. But that's some time. That's like 10 days or so. So that's more than enough time to get something together. But if there's an immediacy to your ad where you need it out a specific day, because there's a campaign or there's a whatever, really think about when you're launching that. So if you need this out to have the ad that's in it because your campaign's December, let's say, you know, you're going to lose a couple of days there. So make sure instead advertise it in an evergreen fashion. Just advertise in general what you're
Mhm.
doing, and have a website or something like that that you can direct people to, that
Yeah.
hopefully then would have a link to wherever it is you want to direct them afterwards. But yeah, you want to make sure that the ad that you put in there, anytime you advertise in print, if it's something that's very immediate, really think hard about when this is going to drop. Otherwise, it's always best to go with something that someone could look at this a year from now and still get something out of it, and still go, oh, that looks pretty cool. Let me find out, more
Yeah.
about this thing.
Yeah, and you can put a QR code in there. You can make one of
Yep.
those really easy. Put that in your ad so people can scan it on their phone. Put a website. Something I've seen in Alterna Comics. I just got my Halloween bundle last week, so we have taken all of the books that we don't already own because the kids want to read them. We got the all ages bundle, and it was fun to see there are ads in there that specifically look like they were made in like the 70s or 80s in comics. It's so cool. I'm thinking of I think it was one of Keith's ads where it was like a mini comic in there.
Oh yeah, he
You
made it
know,
like with the fruit pies. Yeah.
yeah, the fruit pie ad. There's I mean, there are a few others, but you can really lean into the fact that this is newsprint and do like a classic ad, and it,
Yeah.
it doesn't. You want to start selling sea monkeys? I mean, there you go. Profess your love. I don't know what rules you have, but could you ask someone to prom? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is if someone wants to even propose or something in one of the comics, they could
there you
do
go.
that. If someone wants to do a birthday shout out or something, they could do that. It's your ad space, as long as it's all ages appropriate. Even though
Yeah,
they're going to go in mature books as well, you want to always make sure your ads are all ages appropriate. So it could even advertise something that's not for all ages, but make sure that the actual imagery and the text of the ad is appropriate, and that's
yeah,
not hard to do. But as far as this ad stuff goes, it's crazy because we used to have advertising on the website, and at this point in time, I'm like, this became so successful, I just took that down. I was like, we'll just do this.
just
We'll just sell ad space on every single campaign when we do the
selling the
pre-orders,
campaign.
and then
It,
which ones you're going to buy. And even if you want to buy them based on, let me just check and see which ones are the most popular, if you want to go about it like that, you can literally have access to that data immediately on the campaign.
that's fantastic. It didn't even occur to me to sell ad space, but that's a big part of. I mean, I don't know what percentage of the comics business in general, but it used to be like a massive part of the comics business, generally speaking.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, like
Well,
to me it's kind of fun to see the ads. Like that's part of having
yeah.
a single issue, that
Yeah.
especially when you put some effort into it, make it a you don't have to,
Well,
but
you want to hear something nuts, Clint? Right?
yeah.
If these ad prices were 3 times the price, it would pay for the entire print run of all the books.
Wow.
The books would print for free at that point in time, paid for by the ads. So think about it. These aren't that expensive whatsoever. A back cover for
No.
$300. Like if we were a much larger company with much larger distribution, you could literally sell advertising. Let's say $500 for the back cover, and it was justified. Let's say you're doing like some 20, 50,000 print run or something like that, and you're selling this advertising at that level, and you would make money on your books even if no book ever sold. So that's
Yeah.
why I don't get the publishing industry right now. I don't get what's going on in comics. They don't, I don't know.
It just seems, I don't know if they don't try to sell ads, or they think they're, I don't know, I don't get it. We've
Well, there's
matured
there's
past it or
definitely
something. I don't.
there's definitely ads in the comics that are out there, but as far as what's going on in terms of the money that they're making on them, or in terms of being transparent enough about it with their creative teams or the readers or anything.
Yeah.
Like we could, how crazy is that, right? If we had like a large circulation of, let's say, even we made these books free, right? And we had, let's say, 100,000 circulation, and it got across everywhere, and it just was just a freebie. Just pick it up; it's free, and we could just sell ad space. And we sold like a full page for 200, a back cover for 500 to 1,000. You guys would all be making more money like that, giving books away, than you would through the diamond system, selling, 5,000 or 4,000 or whatever it would be. It's mind-boggling to me,
Yeah.
the scope of. But most print advertising is through the roof. Through the roof. It's unbelievably expensive. You get like something that's like a little strip like this on a page, and it's like $300. Even in the diamond catalog, it was like 1,000 or something for a full page.
Oh my gosh.
Eh,
Full
like-
page. That's the thing too, is I was thinking the cheapest one is a full page ad.
$25.
$25
For full page.
full page ad, again targeted toward the comics buying community. And I mean, yeah, and there's all sorts of things you could think of, and I know there's a lot of business people out there that are trying to do their own stuff, especially comics. That's a fantastic place to do it.
Here's an even crazier idea for all you comic creators out there. You could get a full page and have it as just a full page that's out of your comic, an excerpt page of your comic. We'll specify that if you don't do it in the ad itself, we'll specify that it's an advertisement, of course. And you're kind of saying like, hey, look, my comic, I got a comic that's in print. And it's literally just, you could take out a full page and put it in one of our comics. So we used to sell the full pages for $100. And, now it's just, I'm looking at it and I'm like, that was when we had newsstand distribution. We had diamond distribution. The print runs were about maybe 3 times as high. But now I'm looking at it, and even though most of those issues didn't go in the hands of readers after, I found out about how that all that stuff goes. All of this is going right into the hands of a reader, and not just the sales, of course, that are on the crowdfunder, but the sales afterwards, the sales for forever on these books. And even like you said, we could have these books in Alterna campaigns. Some of them we can have these down the line, give them away as donations or whatever it may be. Certain things happen with these books in terms of like when they get damaged, that we can donate them, because I donate to the troops every single year, usually around like 500 copies or so of books. So like that stuff could go out there, go to the troops. There's all kinds of different things that this can get donated to. Children's hospitals, we do all kinds of stuff. So it doesn't just hit specifically just the readers on this campaign, and it stays there for forever because it's in print. I'm at this point, I feel like I'm overselling this, but it's $25 a full page ad, 50 for the inside back cover, 75 for the front inside front cover, and then 100 for the back cover. And I'm just so glad that people have actually kind of jumped on board with a lot of this stuff. And goodness gracious, can you refresh the campaign for a second? I just got
let's refresh it. I did
emails.
See a question in the chat for me I want to make sure and answer to, but let's we'll refresh this here. Oh my goodness.
5 away. Oh man.
I'm $5 away from being fired or hired. Or no, what then if we hit past $5, then it's gonna be promoted. I get promoted.
Oh, okay. So, you decided you become promoted.
Yeah. To a B-list creator.
Okay.
Instead of
you've proven your worth.
Yeah. S class. That'll be the goal. We'll have to classify. So yeah, check it out. I'm gonna post the link in the description below. If you have a crowdfunding campaign that's coming up, especially in the spring, even that would be a good time, because you still want to get people on a mailing list. So that's where I would direct people, is to a pre-launch page or something like that. So Clint is a smooth one, maybe sarcastic too. All right, so Fatty asked a question. I don't want to miss you. Did you ship Fatal yet, Clint? I think my address isn't right. So you need to check the campaign and see the updates. And I think I'm going to put out another update here pretty soon. I already did an October update, but I think I'm going to do another update anyway. Fatal had a pretty serious delay. Charlie's working on it. So right now we're still in art production, but he's making some awesome progress. So it hasn't shipped out yet. I'm sorry that one is so late. But we're making forward progress. Everything's explained there. If you do have specific questions, though, yeah, hit me up on Indiegogo, and I'm happy to answer questions in more specific ways. But yeah, it's moving forward. It just hasn't shipped yet. So go ahead and check you or change your address, update your address, and it'll be good. So, oh, no big deal, bro. Good. All right. We're gonna refresh again here. I see refreshes in the chat, or is this just salt? There we go. No, it went up 472, but we got another backer, but not any more dollars. Maybe it needs a minute to calculate. Fantastic. I love it.
Oh, we got another backer. I think we did it.
Here, let's see. I'm gonna refresh it again.
It's like
why? The backer number.
Indiegogo, yeah, gotta love it.
It went up. We'll give it.
Amy. Amy did it. Amy, you did it.
Did she push us over the edge? We're just gonna keep refreshing it over and over until it actually clicks to the 20,000. There's something here that makes it it gets stuck. So
Indiegogo.
So the one thing I wish that Indiegogo would do that Kickstarter does.
Oh, the real-time update.
It's just the real-time update. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, it's we're close. Yes, I needed a beanie. Oh, so close. There we go. Officially $20,018.
Incredible. Oh man.
We did it. The sweet Surge did it. I will be upgraded to a B class. I'm sure we'll ask the boss, the mailroom guy.
I'm close with him. I'll ask.
Yeah, we'll find out. Either way, my head's not on the chopping block, so that'll be happy. I was in real danger of that happening. Bianca is here, and he says, "Nice, we did it. Yes, love it. 20K is a big place to be, but it's also like, look how close this is getting to 500 backers. I'll tell you, when I first started crowdfunding, 500 backers to me was the goal. Like, if you hit 500 backers, you made it. There's very few, relatively speaking, campaigns that hit that. I'm not just talking comics. I'm just talking in general. It's actually puts you in this high tier of crowdfunding. So that's not far away at all. That would, to me, be the next
all right, so you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. If we don't hit 500 backers tonight, Clinton is fired.
Oh, wait, that so much for having initiative. That's what it gets me.
That's what you get for being a go-getter.
No good deed goes unpunished. So check it out. We're going to check back on this campaign. Since I'm the only Alterna creator here, along with the mailroom guy, technically you're an Alterna creator, I guess. So we can do this for you too. But I did not tell you to prepare for anything. So I'm gonna go through this and talk a little bit about a scene. I went onto your stream, and it was a revelation in that we were talking about the characters in our books, and you had a list of questions about the characters and about the comic book. And to me, it was like, gosh, why don't I do this more often and like really kind of nerd out? And maybe it feels weird to be, I don't want to talk about my own book, my own characters. Someone else has to do it. No one's going to do it. Like you have to be the one to do it to sell the book. So what I want to do this time is take a look at a scene. I'm not taking the whole scene because I really don't want to spoil anything, but I want to show you a little bit in character development. I've selected, we got, I guess, 5 pages here. These are from Downcast issue number 3. That's on the campaign right now. There's no big spoilers here. I'm not going to get into some super things, but I'm going to talk a little bit about some behind the scenes stuff here. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Let me just check real quick. Sorry, one question. GJ Martinez says, Clint, how is Charlie doing? Say hello if you can remember for me. Yeah, I will tell him. I've been in contact with Charlie. I'm going to shoot him an email again, probably tomorrow. It's getting late. Like for a lot of people. But Charlie's doing okay. He's just working his tail off right now. That's sort of where he's at. But his family's doing good and only getting better. So it's positive stuff as far as that goes. So yeah, thanks for asking, and I will tell him you asked. Okay, so what I want to talk about here is a scene, and this is a character growth moment for Jax. So if you really don't want any spoilers, you can tune away a little bit. These are not major spoilers, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the character Jax. Now, when I write, I like to make sure everyone has a character arc so that their characters struggle and they change in some way. And I think that's really important to good storytelling. And they don't have to be major changes, like, anything mainstream does. Sometimes it can be very wrong where they'll just say, oh, hey, here's the announcement. This character has changed in a major way. They
spoil it.
They spoil, and that's the thing. The biggest sin is that they didn't make it a story. They made it just a news announcement. Like, why?
Yeah, it's just strange. It's so strange.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be anything big, but characters changing and growing is important. It's what makes us interested in reading about a character, and especially a flawed character. So up to this point, Jax, the younger brother here to Joanne, he has been maybe symbolic here. He's on the back seat. He's the younger brother. He's he's sort of used to going along to get along. And they're being chased by these deadliners. I won't go through all the dialogue, but essentially, maybe I'll read you this line. They have come up with a plan, and it is that Jax is going to have to basically be a distraction. And he says, oh, you want me to draw them away? Why am I always the bait? And that's sort of a character moment, because he goes from feeling like maybe the younger brother, the prop, in the situation, and she has to solve the problem, to being a problem solver himself. So it follows up with, I think, one of my favorite pages from not just that issue, but that volume, Downcast, Rise and Fall. Just really, really great here with the grappling hook gun hitting their jetter, and they go flying off. And this is where he sort of moves into a moment of more agency. They decide to change plans a little bit. The deadliners are looking for them, and Jax is growing up. This is a change for him. He grabs a lead pipe. I think that's what it was in the script. Joanne, again, they've got the power of gravity, so there's some maneuvering by Joanne. She's the bait this time, and he can throw an entire dumpster at them because of, again, they control the power of gravity. So throws that at him, and then again, another fun page. We had the original too, and I think we sold this on one of your auctions of this page, but this was sort of simultaneously showing Joanne's progression in her journey to find her father, and very much she's, again, the emotional one, more so if we were to compare them, the two of them, and he is the analytical one, and they're sort of both stepping into those roles in a more defined way. So this is important. I won't show you the next page because it's a pretty big reveal, and it's also important for Jax. And so I love how Nacho did this, that they're all equal. It's six panels of equal importance, and he's finally just kicking some butt. And so yeah, I love that for Jax. Again, it's important for her, but we wanted to sort of show that at the same time. And this is those characters sort of moving through their arc. Hers had a little bit more, but this is really where he came to his own in this particular story. So I dug it. That's that scene. So if you want to see it and read it for yourself without the commentary and the meandering, check it out on the campaign. How was that? Do you think you could? I'd love to have more people break down a scene from their books.
Yeah, it's a good example too of showing and not telling.
Yes.
Or sometimes you could do a bit of both, But
Yeah.
it's good instead of him just making proclamations of "Oh, I can handle myself and I'm grown up and I blah blah blah
Yeah.
what all these things of it's like, well, prove it, show it,
Yeah.
and there you have it.
Yeah, and it takes sometimes it's like, okay, well, we have 5 pages to show. He could have said in one page, I've come out as as an adult now. I've my coming of age. He could have said that, but they obviously there's dialogue, but that's still we're showing you the conflict here. Then we're showing you with a very little dialogue of the action, her being the bait, she's putting herself in danger's way, and then him this time, taking action. And I think again here, this is the only dialogue, which is a groan. Does that count as dialogue? It's groan at the bottom there, but a couple sound effects. But yeah, no speaking. So I think Nacho did a really good job at that, and Eric did a great job as well. Sort of the quiet moment to like the loud moment, quiet moment, loud moment, quiet moment, and I guess quieter. Hers is about to get really loud here in a minute. So yeah, fun stuff. Again, I'd love to hear more. Do you think you could do this for the chair? You don't have to have pictures, but I'm curious. I'm totally putting you on the spot, but I'm
I would
curious.
I
You
would
could do
do
it.
this more. I would do it maybe for King Cryptid. For the
Oh,
for the chair, it's like I just don't care anymore.
it it's been around. Yeah,
Yeah, it's I've talked it to death,
I
and
get
then
that.
just there's so many things that have happened with that IP itself, where I'm
Yeah,
just like, I want to move on.
I get
Uh,
that.
but yeah, no, I could totally do it. If I was forced to, if like you made it like a mandate, like you must talk about this,
Well, I'm not. I haven't been
but
promoted to that level yet. But
yeah, and you never will. So but no, I think
yeah,
everyone could do this kind of a thing. I think everyone can kind of break down a scene. I think everyone can kind of break down, or should at least be able to break down a scene in which they put whatever together, and especially a character defining moment. If you don't have any character defining moments in your story, or you don't put any in there, or you don't think you have any in there, um, put some in there.
yeah,
You need that stuff. You need that kind of thing to really set apart, either cement the characterization, or it's a really good chance to have that character experience growth. And that makes it interesting. If you
yeah,
just have the character just constantly, they're always the same forever and ever. Um, it's just very cardboard. It's that one dimensional kind of character. Give him some layers, just
yeah,
even a little bit of something. Just even if you didn't even show this, honestly, just kind of the way he replies, kind of snarkily back, it plants
yeah,
like this little seed of resentment. That if you're a good reader, a smart reader, which many Alterna readers are, you would think like, I wonder what's happening there. Is he getting a little bit? Is he feeling a
right.
little used? Maybe is he feeling a little bit like, hey, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
And then is that going to cause a divide down the future? Like it starts planting seeds. And even if you never do that, it adds a layer. It
yeah.
adds a layer to the character and the relationship.
Yeah, and it's I mean it's conflict that makes it's just interesting to have conflict, in storytelling. But yeah, even if I don't want to use a mainstream character, but if you have your hero that they've already had their inciting incident that made them become a hero in the first place, and that's forever hanging over their head, uh, they're going to also run into things that challenge that. Um, and so even if he comes back to with great power comes great responsibility, that is still challenged. It should be challenged, and it have to be a character going through again some growth. It's not necessarily changes or major changes. Sometimes it is changes, but it's growth, and I think there's a real distinction there. um so yeah, that was one attempt I had at it, and yeah, I think it worked for Jax. I like that sequence. So
Yeah, no, that's a good sequence.
where are you at with King Cryptid? I'm curious about that one.
I'm beginning the script phase of the first four
Ooh,
issues. So I've got all my stuff outlined with the different points that I want to hit with the different story beats. And Now I'm into the scripting phase. It's going to be kind of like a Marvel method improvisational script, though. So what I mean by that, it's a little bit different from the Marvel method, at least what's popularly known as that anyway.
Yeah.
It's more about setting up the scene panel by panel of what I would imagine. The artist, of course, gets to say like, oh well, we don't need 5 or 6 panels here. I could do it in 3. That's fine. It's more about here's the loose dialogue, the emotion behind it, and then after the artist delivers it, I tweak. Is it necessary? Does something need to get added or changed or tweaked or pushed back or completely deleted altogether? Depending on the art, I want to make the artwork and the dialogue, of course, flow. And there's going to be thought balloons in King Cryptid, which I'm so happy about. I get to letter it, so it's like, and there's going to
The
be actual,
power.
yeah, there's going to be actual third person narration. So it's important to find that balance, to not turn it into constant exposition, to not turn it into just a novel with pictures, but to make everything work and to use them at the right moments. And I'm sure there's going to be moments where probably a reader is like, could have added a little more, could have taken away a little more. But finding that balance, at least for me as the writer of it, is an important thing to do. I've done a lot of that kind of stuff in the past, but it was mostly through captions. I want to bring back just full on again, like thought balloons, and have captions. So it's a slightly different process. It's more of like classic comics,
Yeah.
but everything about the series is basically going to be just me telegraphing every single thing that I loved about the comics that I grew up with, and how much I miss those storytelling devices and how many of them are just no longer used. And I think comics has greatly suffered from it. You used to be able to get like these amazing, beautiful passages of exposition with the third person narration, that really fleshed out the world and the scene. And then you can get a nice insight into what a character was thinking with the thought bubbles. And you get this introspective kind of thing going on. And you can then have, of course, the direct communication between the characters. But it seems like it's all out the window for the most part in favor of characters that they say a whole lot while really saying nothing at all,
Mhm.
or letting the artist just completely carry the load. And then the dialogue is like, 2 words, and that's the whole page.
Yeah.
So it's either like it's just this stream of rambling, inane, just drivel, or it's 2 words and no one really talks and just look at the art.
Yeah.
We've lost, I think, with many comics, we've lost that beauty in the writing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to do my best to bring some of that back and really make King Cryptid a book that's not just fun to look at, but it's fun to read as well.
Yeah. There's and you can really flex some different muscles when you're writing in that third person narration, because your narrator is going to have a certain voice and you can be more poetic, and then have a character. I don't know what Cryptid is like, what he'd speak like, but maybe he's speaking very simply, you know what I mean? He wouldn't use
Yeah.
the same, he's going to have a different voice.
So you can still have him talk stoically, maybe,
Yeah.
a thing, because he's not a man, a few words. He's like a thing, a creature, a monster of a few words, let's say.
Yeah.
But still have like the thoughts be fully, and this is honestly how King Cryptid would be. His thoughts would be still very human, but in essence, the speech, the dialogue would be very to the point, very direct.
Yeah.
Difficult to get that emotion out, even though meanwhile in his thoughts he wishes he could verbalize those feelings, that emotion. So there's all kinds of great stuff you could play with those characters, and I think many of us, honestly, I think that's how a lot of us are. I think a lot of us are people who, if you write it down, it's very different than how you would say it. And I think at the time, whether it's because you're more composed with when you can write something down and you can think about your word selection and whatever, or maybe it's difficult to get the words out sometimes because maybe you find that sounds ridiculous if I say it. It's just so maybe you cut it with a joke, or you don't say it at all, or you don't get serious or intense about it or anything like that. I think a lot of us have that in us where we feel like it's hard sometimes to bring those words to life. And so to see a character like that, I think is that's something that is relatable. And believe it or not, you know, you can have characters that are relatable that aren't even human. Can you believe it, Clint? They could not even be human, and yet you could still find something to relate to them with.
You have to be a cryptid to ride a cryptid. That's what I heard. So,
so if I lurk through the jungles a bit
yeah,
and kind of squatch around, then am I qualified?
Sasquatch around. Yeah, in
Yeah.
that case, yeah, it'd be necessary. Though there's got to be some research, I'm sure, that you would do. Yeah, it could be really fun. I'm curious with King Cryptid, what can you tell us so far about what it is? I've seen a character design and the name. That's all I know.
Okay,
yet.
I could say the overall summary of the story itself. No, so it's an ongoing series. Hey Keith, what's up?
Hey
man?
Keith.
So it's an ongoing series, and it's about conspiracies, cover-ups, and killer creatures that are running rampant through the White Mountain Forest region in New Hampshire, and it stirs a long forgotten legend that has now resurfaced. And there's a lot of stuff that's taking place. If anyone's into paranormal anything, they know that New England and New Hampshire even has a lot of history with that. New Hampshire being the first recorded alien abduction.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you know, a lot of weird stuff goes on up here. And you wouldn't really think that. You think Pacific Northwest, you think Bigfoot, you think, you know, you think certain places with certain things, you think Stonehenge, you think Loch Ness, you know, you think Chupacabra, Jersey Devil, you think all these kinds of things. But there's a lot of stuff that also happens in New England. I'm going to incorporate a lot of different things as well. But that's the main gist of it. It takes place mostly in New England, but there's also a lot of issues that'll take place out of time. So there'll be flashbacks. There's a lot of issues that take place also in different regions of the world. And there's a lot of different cryptids that I'm going to have in there. Some that are known, some that I'm going to invent. But it's going to be a real fun series with a lot of different themes and elements to it, a lot of different characters. There are still going to be human beings, of course. But I'm going to give a lot of stuff away. I just don't want to give away too much stuff right now because we're not going to launch the campaign till May 2022. But it's going to be a very fun series. It's something that I've been wanting to write now for years. So I hope everybody enjoys it. That's all I could say. And if they don't, they don't. That's cool. I'm not going to be like, well, you know, that's because you're a cryptophobic.
Is it weird that I could be a cryptophobic? But that's why it's interesting to me.
I kind of think, you know, most of us should be cryptophobics because you don't really know.
It's like a little degree of that. Yeah.
It's fear of the unknown a bit, but you know, that's fine. But if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's cool. There's all kinds of great books at Alterna. But I really am looking forward to creating it, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully entertaining everybody with it too.
Very cool. It sounds cool.
That's correct, Amy.
Love it. I love even just the name King Cryptid because I'm immediately thinking of storylines that could go along with that. You know, like it gets you, again, thinking about what it could be about. So that's great.
It also gives you that hierarchy too. Like this, like, you know, there's this king. Like it's almost like the Godzilla thing, right? King of all monsters.
That's a funny part too for me was that I wanted him to have a name that was descriptive, like someone would coin the name, but it would literally have almost nothing to do with the actual essence of the character. So like King Cryptid isn't like king of the cryptids. He's named King Cryptid because of his silhouette and the look. So he looks like he's got a crown. It looks like he's got a cape of sorts. So when he's described, that's kind of what sticks with them. So he's kind of, the name is coined King Cryptid. But his actual name, I guess I could let people know, his actual name is Crowan. Krowan.
You heard it here first, folks.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the first time I've said it. And he's over 500 years old. So this character has a lot of history. There's a lot of stories to talk about with this character. And there's a lot of different things and a lot of different elements to his personality and his history. And all these kinds of things in the world of King Cryptid that I'm really looking forward to telling, because it's just, to me, it's the kind of stuff that real fun stories are made of. It's that mystery quality combined with the conflict, combined with classic cases of misunderstandings. Friends become foes, foes become friends. Really just every single thing that you like about stories in general, and especially in comics in terms of character design, epic stories, all kinds of different things involved. There's magic, there's enchanted elements, there's curses, there's creatures, there's all kinds of stuff. So like I said, I'm really looking forward to just telling the story and being able to have the opportunity to at least entertain people with it, hopefully.
Yeah. Sounds cool. What's his name again? It was Crowan, right?
Crowan. Krowan.
Crowan. Oh, I like it.
Very cool. All right. So we're looking at this campaign here. I'm going to go ahead and post the link again. Did you see this, Keith? We passed 20K.
Nice. I just looked at that. I just saw that. That's great.
What's that? And
Fantastic.
Because you're on the stream, you've also been promoted. That's what I heard. So you've been promoted to a A-list creator. You're not at S-list yet. I'm B-list now. So there's a whole hierarchy.
Oh, really? How did I become A-list?
I just made it up.
Oh, you just made it up.
If you say it live, then it becomes so.
So if you just declare it, it just becomes fact, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's all it takes, really. But everyone reports to King Cryptid because he's the king. So check this out, Keith. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to put you on the spot. I hope that's okay.
Yeah.
So I went through Downcast issue number 3. I went through a scene in it, or a portion of a scene in it, and sort of broke it down a little bit. I know you may probably not have images ready to go, but I'm wondering if you could tell us about a scene from Mighty Mascots, preferably the one in this campaign. I don't know, any Mighty Mascots. Tell us about a scene and
actually
sort of.
I might have a scene. Let me take a quick look. Hang on.
Yeah, you're good. We'll kill time for you while you look.
Yeah. Let me look real quick. I might have something here.
In the meantime, we'll say hi to the chat again. Comics Top with Pops Van Zant says pushing 500 backers. Great job, Pete. He says, I got Downcast number 1 on the way thanks to this campaign. Heck yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Very cool. And yeah, with the campaign, if you're interested, let's say you want to follow Downcast in these newsprint editions through Alterna, you can actually catch up right here. So what I would do is click here, Downcast number 3, go to get this perk. I'm afraid to dox myself if I go too far down the line, but then there are add-ons at the bottom of the screen, and you can add on Downcast issue 1 and Downcast issue 2. And that way you'll be caught up along with the Alterna books.
So I found a page that I have from issue 4 of the Mighty Mascots. Not an exciting page, but if you want me to break down like what's going on here, like what was the thought again, Clint? What was it?
Just give us some behind the scenes behind this scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this page was almost like a reset or like a reintroduction of the main characters of sorts. So, started off with the first panel, which is an establishing shot of their new headquarters, so that you kind of get an idea of where you are in the scene, first of all, because the page before that is Honey Flakes waking up from a nightmare, and then you kind of are thrown into the story again, and it's kind of like, all right, here's all our characters again, so kind of like that Stan Lee thing where it's like you kind of want to reintroduce, or you want to make sure that if someone's reading this book for the first time, they kind of know who everybody is, so it's kind of like establishing shot. And then I'm also kind of playing, because the new story arc is them going up against video game villains. So there's a subtle hint of them playing like Nintendo there. And they kind of, throughout them talking to each other and kind of reestablishing the history of the last 3 issues, they're also mentioning characters that are going to kind of foreshadowing some of the villains that they're going to be going up against, like by mentioning the games they're playing, so there's a lot of slick things like that going on in this scene. And this issue, there's not a lot of moments with the mascots because it's a lot of setup with the villains and things like that. So this is like a few pages where you get to see the main characters again and let them shine for a little bit since it's their book, and then it goes into the other stuff to set up the storyline, so that was sort of my thought there. And then on the bottom 2 panels, you can see Boxer and Brewster starting to go at it with the fighting game or whatever game they're playing there, so, and Ian's artwork just makes it so much easier. You can just basically follow everything going on without words there, which is
that
sign of a great artist.
That second panel is such a good example of why comics are awesome, because that angle, imagine if this was a movie or whatever, television or film, how would you really get that angle? Right above the TV.
Yeah,
you can see the snacks on the floor. They're like right around there, like that. Again, it might seem like a little thing, but that really shows what comics can achieve, even to that degree. It's really cool.
Do you have the lettered version of this page, Keith?
I don't, unfortunately. I just have. I could get it, but it'd take me a while to go get the external hard drive, and
Oh wow,
I don't have it set up on here, unfortunately. Unless Pete, do you have it there by any chance or no?
I might. Let me see.
Okay.
I'm clearing
you know what? Actually, wait. Let me see. Hang on. Let me see if I have.
While you're looking, I
might have the PDF actually. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Well, let's take a look back at the campaign here while you're getting that. These are the fall 2021 pre-orders of Alterna issues. There we go. If you haven't backed it yet, do so, because there's only 2 days left, and because we're on Sweetcast right now promoting it. So it only makes me look good. I might not get fired. It's up in the air. We hit 20K, but who knows? It could still happen at any moment. So let's get this thing climbing. If you haven't backed it, check it out. Should I refresh it? I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
We'll just oh heck yeah, still climbing. The Sweetcast bump, we're gonna call it that. It's not fat, it's a bump.
I thought it was a Sweetcast surge.
Yeah, the Sweetcast swell. We could go with that even. The surge.
The surge.
I do have the PDF here, so if you guys want to see the final page.
There you go.
There it is.
So glad I got all the way up and went down 2 feet to go get this in the mail room. You guys, I'm talking to the boss tomorrow. I'm not appreciated around here.
But yeah, so see that we got the setup here saying, establishing the shot, basically. It's kind of like what they do at movies a lot. If you think about it, they always like establish where you are, and then, and then they start talking and basically setting up the story, Then we have those fun little editor's notes. I love doing those things, where they just kind of rewrap up what happened in the previous issues.
I love the editor's notes in this issue, because
there's so many of them
where you're like, look, just get those issues already.
Yeah, right.
It's great.
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, no, I'm really happy with how these 3 issues came out. They really happy with this storyline.
It's really cool. Yeah, I've already gushed about your book a million times, so I'm not going to do it too much. But my kids loved this book. Seriously loved it. My niece loves it. So this is one definitely on my list. I've got a bunch of new copies of various issues to hand out at Halloween. And so,
nice.
I'm excited about it. But Mighty Mascots is a fantastic book for any age, but I'm always like, I have a sweet spot for when my kids like reading a comic book. It's awesome. So
yeah, and I'm still blown away by by what you told me about your son really being into it. Yeah. I love that though. I love that he didn't do his chores.
Yeah, we got him straightened out now. But
yeah, that's gonna threaten to take the books away
until the next issue comes out, probably.
Yeah, right.
yeah. He had a lot of fun. They're fantastic. So yeah, check them out. This is how you get them. First, it's on the campaign. I don't know. Is there anything else that I've glossed over? We talked about the ad
You've glossed
space
over a lot.
a lot.
Should I just talk about it?
Why don't you do that? Yeah.
First, I want to say hey to Pops in the chat as well as GJ and C Money. You had me cracking up earlier. You made a joke about I'll turn around every now and then. But hello guys. So
hello.
the alternate campaign here, of course. Now we've got 2 days left on this. Once we go in demand, we're going to be losing 5 different perks, all the perks that contain the collector cases. So the featured perk, both secret perks, the collector case perk itself, of course, and then the everything bundle. Everything else is going to stay on there. The ad space, though, is going to come down on November 1st. So if we don't have everything sold by then, it doesn't matter. All those things are coming down because we're going to be prepping, going to print, and that's it. Same thing with if you do want to get ad space, make sure you get everything into me by November 1st. As soon as the campaign closes in a couple of days, I'm going to be reaching out to everybody about that anyway. I had also offered a secret perk at the time, a sketch card that I was going to be doing, a black and white sketch card. So I'm going to be reaching out to you guys about that at that point as well to get that stuff done. Now, we unlocked the last 2 stretch goals on this campaign with the $20,000 mark here. So if we can scroll up to that, I want to just give that a quick reference. Scroll up a little more and a little bit down.
I'm all the way up. Wait, what are we looking at? Oh, these prints?
Go just a little bit more down till we get to the 20K. There it is, unlocked at 20K. So we did unlock these things tonight. So every secret perk backer is going to now be getting the full set of the Alterna attributes cards here. You're going to be getting the strength, speed, endurance, energy blast, and fighting ability intelligence, so you guys can see what that's like. It's a scale of 1 to 9. So when you get the trading cards that every single physical perk backer is getting, you're getting the first 2 trading cards in the set with this campaign. You can't get these anywhere else. It's just on the campaign. You can tally up and see where the characters stand. Also, every physical perk backer as well as secret perk backer is also getting that bonus blank Alterna Comics official sketch card too. People really like that from the Because You Demanded It campaign, and they were asking as backers if they could ever get these, buy them, whatever it is. And I was like, we still got a bunch. Let's just make this a physical perk stretch goal bonus. So here it is. We've unlocked that. So every single physical perk backer will be getting one of those blank sketch cards. You guys can draw on them, sell them if you'd like, have someone else draw on them, get a commission, whatever you'd like to do with it, go for it. But that's going to be a bonus for you guys. So you get a bunch of bonuses now because of that 20K mark. And there's more to come, but not going to be on this campaign, future campaigns. So we're going to be having some really cool stuff on the next campaign, which should hopefully be the winter 2021 bundle. But we'll talk about that at that point in time.
Very cool.
There was so much I wanted to do with this. I was like, just wait, just hold off on it. There's more than enough on this. We're going to have more campaigns for the future.
Yeah.
Every single campaign, too, will be adding 1 to 2 trading cards so you can build your Alterna series set as you back campaigns.
Are you going to do the ad thing with each campaign?
Yeah,
Pete?
I'm doing that from now on.
Seems like a good added bonus. And I've been pushing it. Like I did my show a little earlier.
Oh, nice.
And I said, this getting an ad for the Alterna books, it's like these are all going to people. This is not going to a shelf somewhere,
Yeah, we touched upon that before. It's true.
Yeah, and then I also said too, like when you do second printings, you don't normally change the ads on them, so those ads will still live on even with later printings, I think, right? Or am I saying anything out of turn there?
No, we usually go back to print with the ads unless we're told not to.
Yeah, so, like with the same files and everything, right?
Yeah, and especially so that's the thing too, is that if it's an ad that, let's say we go back to print a year later and the ad was very specifically for a certain thing, like a month or 2 months down the line from when the book was printed, it really doesn't make sense to go back to print with that ad. And just put it out there again and do that. So a lot of the times people just be like, oh yeah, don't bother, reprinting it. But we usually go back to print with most of the ads, if not all of the ads, still there. But yeah, it's very interesting to just see the response to the ad space being offered, and I wonder why I didn't have it from the start, but it's like, hey, it worked
No,
out.
yeah.
And
Glad you got it in.
at this point in time, I think what'll happen is when we reach the goal of the campaign, and it's going to be every single campaign goal is just going to be the year. Just make it nice and easy. So this is 2021 for the campaign goal. 2022
Wow.
campaigns will be 2022. So once we reach the goal, I'll add the ad space there. This way, it's like, yep, you guys can see this campaign is fulfilled, and we're going to be moving forward with everything. And you can get ad space. And I took down the advertising part of the website because honestly, this is just a way more efficient way to sell the ads. And people can see, me and Clint were talking about before, they can see that, the book is performing a certain way. People are interested in these kinds of books, whatever it may be. You can get a clear understanding and representation of every single book that's right there. You can see the synopsis, you can see the art. So you can make a way more informed decision.
Right. And then
right
on
off the
top
bat.
of that, the books are going to indie comic lovers, so it's like if you got a book that you're trying to push, I mean, why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah. Like C Money in the chat says it's highly targeted.
Yeah.
It's comic lovers
definitely.
and creators, and so $25 for a full page. We're going to leave the pricing that way too. And I mean, that's insane. $25 for a full page to get that in a comic.
Yeah.
It's there forever, and
Yeah.
20, 30 years from now, whatever it is, someone's maybe going through a dollar bin or a 50-cent bin and they're coming across our books and your ad is in there. Like that's even that in itself, that little thing is kind of cool.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
you can get a back cover. It's $100. I mean, a back cover ad for $100 is just phenomenal. So yeah, I'm so
definitely.
glad people are jumping on board with it. It's great.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a great added thing.
People are still trickling in too, because we're up to 476 backers now. I think
Nice.
but there's only 2 days, but that 500 backer number is entirely achievable. I would love to see this hit 22K before those 2 days end. Again, entirely achievable. But even then, like you think about these are $2 books. And with $2 books and some ad space and add-ons that people are getting, these are extremely affordable comic books. I think I'd be interested to see the average number of comics that each backer is getting.
Yeah,
You're not just talking about average dollar amount, but average comics. You're getting a lot of reading material here that'll hold you over for, I don't know, the winter 2022 campaign, right?
It'll hold you over for the apocalypse and the post-apocalypse.
That's right.
Well, and the post-apocalypse.
And you think about it too, like you're saying, $2 books. It's like if you were going to quantify this with like normal pricing, I mean, it's like it would be double the the dollar amount here. Like,
yeah, it's about 300. It's over 300 pages of content for $25.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Here's a good question. I'm glad that R2D2 for Life asked it, because we talked about this earlier, but we probably have we've been churning through people. So so he says, can the ad be anything as long as it's not objectionable, like a message, or does it have to be a traditional ad?
Yeah, it could be anything as long as it's not objectionable. 100%. Like we said before too, you can make like a happy birthday announcement. You could propose in the comic if you'd want to do something like that. You can, give a shout out to your friend. You can do an anniversary message. You can announce your store opening. You can just whatever it is, as long as it's all ages appropriate, not objectionable, not vulgar or anything like that, not graphic in terms of violent imagery or whatever it may be, like gore or realistic in imagery. You can keep it within taste, which I've never had any kind of in the past 4 years of doing advertising for the Alterna Comics titles. I've never had to tell anyone, your ad's not appropriate. Can you change it up? Everyone's usually pretty good about that.
Don't be the first. That would be a bad idea. John Dosa grabbed some books. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John. Yeah, appreciate that. I'm going to pull this up one more time because we talked about this super early in the stream. I think it's worth looking at again. This is a smart way to run things. But if you go onto the ad like you're going to back it, there are options. So what you're going to do is actually choose, and you can put what choice. So this is a full page ad, the $25 least expensive ad. You can pick which books you most want to be in. So you could pick 3 here. Sure, we'll go Mr. Crypt there. And then hopefully you get the first one or whatever. You pick 3 that you're interested in. And yeah, a lot of people are buying ad space. So they can get you into one of those books, one of the 3, I presume. And yeah, you have a little bit more ability to target your market that way, perhaps. Though they're all comics lovers in general, but you could definitely target an all ages book versus a more mature book, depending on what it is that you're advertising. As long as the ad is always for all ages, if that makes sense.
Yeah, as long as there's no, strong language or any, nudity, stuff like that. So yeah, just in case. But yeah, it's a great opportunity for people. Like I said, I'm really glad people are taking us up on that, and this is the way we're moving forward with it, because it made such a splash today in the past like 12 hours or whatever it's been. I don't know. I put it on sometime around 10 or 11 o'clock.
I mentioned it in
last
a couple
night, or
chats,
I forget.
And then I put it on my show tonight too. So hopefully that made a little bit of a difference, anyways.
Yeah, so it's been great, and just blown away by the support just in general for this. Thank you guys so much. And we're so close to my personal goal. My personal goal is 1,000% here. So at 20-10, we've hit my personal goal.
Oh, that's close.
Yeah. And then I can stop yelling at everyone in private that they're just not working hard enough. Keith laughs, but the laughs were tears.
That's why this stream is called "Don't Let Me Get Fired."
We're $20 away. I can't believe it. Like, that's amazing. 1,000. We'll be at 1,000% of the fixed goal.
Yeah.
Oh, incredible!
Yeah, that's
best readers on the planet.
Not far away at all. Best readers, smartest readers. I think we talked about that too. They're intelligent
best
readers,
looking,
most attractive readers.
Yes.
I mean, we could go on and on,
best
and
dressed.
maybe we will. Yeah, best dressed,
funniest.
I mean, it's endless. But yeah, check out the campaign. You could also be the best advertised if you want to advertise to this amazing readership. It's a good way to do it.
I think so too.
How much does this beat Diamond Distribution?
It doesn't just beat it; it destroys it. It obliterates it. So let me give you a number here, okay? Because we do have other merchandise that's available. Just the books alone, in terms of what we've sold, it's about $14,000 around there. So, and not counting like the other stuff, the cases, all the other things. Now take that number. Diamond, it's a 62% discount that we gave. So it's basically like we sell 1 book direct, that's selling 3 books to Diamond.
Yeah.
Now make that number like 3 times the amount. Okay, so you're talking about, to Diamond, we would have had to sell like $45,000 worth of books to get that $15,000 around there. If I'm looking at it face value, what we did just on the campaign itself, you're talking about like $60,000 worth of product that we would have had to sell through to Diamond to get back $20,000. Now, if you want to talk about, okay, well, Diamond, you're selling more units, you're doing this, you're doing that, and maybe there's economies of scale that come into play. Not necessarily, because once you're talking about that big percentage that you're parting with, and you're talking about you have to pay to get them shipped out to everybody, and all the effort involved, it's a very debasing process. We kind of touched upon it earlier. It's not this has been a celebration. This whole month has been like a celebration. Every single time like we do a stream, it's been fun. Every single time we talk to you guys, we talk about the books, it's been fun. It's just been a real nice, positive experience. Nothing about this has been debasing or humiliating, or you're feeling like, you go to a retailer upon retailer, and most of them don't want to talk to you. Most of them treat you like scum. And it's like, I'm trying to literally give you my book at 1/3 of the cost. I'm losing that money for the privilege of putting it on a retail shelf. You know, every single time someone goes in there and is like, please just carry the book. They're doing it and they know they're going to lose like 60% of that sale. And they do it because they love comic shops and they hope that it gets into a comic shop. And, you know, if the comic shops loved them back as much, I guess. But unfortunately, the whole system, the way it is, comic shops, distribution, every single thing, it's just very debasing. It's demeaning. But this has been so great. This has been a breath of fresh air. And we could do so many fun things. We could do all these extras. I wanted to do extras all the time. And they were like, okay, we could do a trading card and we can get, you know, each store out there can get one trading card. It's going to cost $700. I was like, are you kidding me? To just put a trading card in with the shipment that's going to the store already, a trading card, it's going to be a $700 insertion fee. Yeah, I'm getting an insertion fee, all right. Right up the keister is what that is.
Jeez, yeah.
It's insane. But this, it's like, hey, we could just do it. Cool, let's make a trading card. Everybody gets a trading card. Like, that's how simple this is. It's a whole bureaucratic system of just a nightmarish mess. And I'm so glad. I can't explain it. I can't explain how glad I am we're not a part of it. This is a better system. It's more fun. We get books right out to you guys. The wait is almost identical. So if this was in previews right now, you'd be getting them in like 2 months. So it's not even like that. It's that big of a difference in terms of the wait time. It's every single thing about this is great. And I think honestly, they could do whatever they want, but if every publisher kind of went this way, it'd be better. It'd be better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Very, very good stuff. Yeah. I love the part of just shipping books to people is not that big of a deal unless you live in Australia. I've just learned this, or the UK right now.
But that's, it's usually not.
But
going
through distribution doesn't exactly solve those problems either. So,
and one other thing too, I just want to be completely transparent with the readers. The largest purchase order that we ever got from Diamond, it was 6 books, and it was just under, as far as the money that we got, it was just under $8,000. This is being very, very honest with you guys, and it was selling at the time. We sold through about, I'd say, 18,000, 20,000 copies around that. So we sold about 18 to 20,000 copies overall of those 6 books to get under $8,000 of sales in from Diamond. To get that check and cash it, that's $8,000. And then it gets split to pay for the print run, to pay for, to pay the creators on board. It's just such an awful system. And this was like maybe 2 years ago. This was like 2018, like June or something around there, I'd say. Maybe 2019 June. 2019 June, correct. That's right. I'm thinking of the numbers in my head. The years. 2020 is like a year that I erased. I noticed when sometimes I think about the progression of years, I'll be like, it's like 2 years ago, 2018. I'm like, that's not 2 years ago. So June 2019, that was probably the height of the purchase orders that we got from Diamond. And everything's been lower than that since. And if anything, the last purchase order we got from Diamond, it pissed me off so much immensely on the level of, we had books that weren't even getting into the 500 level. And it was just completely based on nothing. The number 1 didn't even ship yet to them. And they're like, the number 2, 70% less than what we ordered of number 1. I was like, this isn't a sustainable system on any level. I'm so glad we're out of it. It's so
planning on failure.
Yeah, it is. It is planning on failure. Yeah, because they don't think they could sell it. They know they can't actually sell it, so they're counting on everything else to sell it for them.
There's also like the convenience of, oh, hey, Wolf and Batsy. Well, that maybe is a bad example because it's a brand new series. You can get both number 1 and number 2 on here, but like Tinseltown, you're new to the series. It's already on volume 2, number 4. You can get the whole series here, presuming that there's still books. I know I did. I added on the entire run. And so as soon as I get that shipment, I'm caught up on Tinseltown. So it saves you from having to find those if they exist anywhere on eBay or, wherever else you're going to find issues. It doesn't matter when you come in on a series. So that I think it's super convenient as just as a reader as well.
Yep.
So I want to do a quick update on Downcast 3. This is Downcast Volume 3, not to be confused with Downcast Issue 3. So this is the latest from the Downcast series. I have all the books in my possession other than the ones I've already shipped out. I'm still in the process of shipping in the thick of it. And so, yeah, if you backed the campaign, your book should be coming out very, very soon. If you haven't backed it, go ahead and check it out. Join the 811 other backers. And this quietly passed $46,000. I don't know, sometime in the past week.
Congrats,
Been
man.
picked up some
That's
great,
awesome, dude.
yeah, it's been going well. So yeah, if you haven't backed it yet, check it out or follow it on Alterna. People ask like, well, what do you want me to do? Either way, if you're reading Downcast, I'm happy. So that makes me happy. Obviously, people that back this campaign, you get to read the first part of the story. You get to it's the first release of this story. You also are getting a different format. It's a graphic novel format, longer format, and you help us produce the artwork and make the comic book. If you're backing this encourages us, and it also gets the story out and helps us again just make more Downcast books. So I would love it if you backed them both, honestly. That'd make me happy, but one or the other is great too. I just want everyone reading the book. So check that out as well. And I think that's it. I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm getting really tired. But I want to thank Pete the Mailroom guy for being on with me tonight. It was a fun stream. I enjoyed it. Also, Keith Gleason of Mighty Mascots fame. Great to talk to you as always.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, we'll do it again for sure. I know my videos have been so sporadic lately because I'm in fulfillment mode and several other things happening right now at the same time in my life. All good things, but yeah, I'll get back to YouTube at a more regular rate once I get this campaign fulfilled. So thanks everybody, and we'll see you in another video.
All right.
Thanks everyone.